Good morning, students. We are going to study the first unit in economics, that is graphs in economics. I am going to divide this chapter into three parts. Today we are going to see some introductory part titled as part 1. Let us see some of the important points that are related to economics as well as graphs. Economics analyzes and studies various issues in a year. Generally, two types of pictures are used to depict such information, such as diagrams and graphs. See what I have written. The two types of pictures that are depicting various information related to economics, such as diagrams and graphs. First of all, let us take diagrams. What is diagram? Diagram is a representation of observable data by way of a picture. It is self-explanatory. Lay persons don't require that much knowledge to understand a diagram. What is meant by self-explanatory? Even ordinary people, once they look at diagram, basic things can be understood. Whereas in the case of graphs, a graph is also a representation of observable data by way of a picture, but it is not self-explanatory. Even for complex statistical information, graph is used. A graph is drawn on a graph paper. These are the main differences between graphs and diagrams. As next, we are going to see the importance of graphs and diagrams in economics. The meaning is very simple. When do we use graphs and diagrams in economics? It is because of various features and its easy way of analyzing. First of all, difficult and complicated information is made easier. What is the first importance? Difficult and complicated information is made easier. Detailed information can be given on a single graph or diagram. Changes happening can be understood very easily. Comparison can be made easier. Easy presentation and understanding. Comparison can be made easier. Easy presentation and understanding. Behind detailed information can be shown on a single sheet. These are some of the important features, importance of graph and diagrams. As next, we are going to discuss aspects to be considered while drawing a diagram. Aspects. Aspects to be considered while drawing a graph or a diagram. If we see in chronological order or in sequence, which are the aspects to be kept in mind while we draw graph or diagrams. First of all, choice. What is meant by choice? We have to make the appropriate choice. That means either we have to decide diagram or graph. Second one is clarity. It has to be very neat and clean. Third point is scales and measures. The scales and measures are to be taken in accordance with the data. Fourth point is representation of axis. Representation of axis means just look over here. O, X, Y axis. See. Very clearly it has to be mentioned what does OX axis say or what does OY axis represent. And the next one is data table and source of data. A graph or a diagram must be followed or accompanied by a data table. What is meant by data table? And this is a table where we come across or we can see many figures or data. Without which, how can we draw a graph or a diagram? And as a last point, method of calculating data. It's appropriate to make statistical method briefly. These are some of the points associated with aspects to be considered while drawing a graph or diagram. Since it is the most important point related, I shall explain it to you once again. First of all, choice, clarity, scales and measures, representation of axis, data table and source of data, and last of all, method of calculating data. Now students, let us see which are the types of diagrams. There are as many as, according to your textbook, 6 types of diagrams. Pictogram, scatter diagram, line diagram, circle diagram, bar diagram, and eye diagram. These are the 6 types of diagrams. Now first of all, we are going to see time-based line diagram. Time-based line diagram. The independent variable is measured on x-axis and the dependent variable is measured on y-axis. Once again students, I repeat the points. Time-based line diagram. The independent variable is measured on x-axis and the dependent variable is measured on y-axis. So as to explain this particular time-based line diagram, I want you to see, take page number 4. Please take page number 4. Yes students, in the table number 1, on page number 4, table number 1, time series, also called time-based line curve. See students, the table is given. In the first column decade, and in the second column what they have given for discussion is decadal growth rate of population in percentage. Decade and population growth rate in percentage. See, OX axis, what is mentioned? Time period, and OY axis is the growth rate of population. The appropriate scale is also taken. Now when you look at it, please look at the diagram there. Please see the graph. Students, from 1951 to 56, 61 to 71, 71 to 81, 81 to 91, 1999 to 2001, 2001 to 2011. And the population growth rate starts from 21.64% and it reaches up to 17.64%. During these decades, what do we understand from this time series, students? And there was a fluctuation, change in the population growth rate. Let us see, especially 1961 to 71. The population growth rate was 24.80, and in the next decade, 1971 to 81, it reached, it has decreased to slight decrease, 24.66 percentage, and later on again it decreased in the next decade, 23.87 percentage, and finally during the decade 2001-2011, it has declined to 17.64 percentage. And from this time series, if you look at it, in a flashback we can understand that. See, at the initial stage, the population growth rate was less, and over the years, decades, it increased, slight decrease, and again it decreased, and by the year 2001-2011, according to this time series, the table, it has reached to 17.64 percentage. You may have to draw this time series with the help of a table. That is your first assignment. And secondly, students, let us look at another point, that is a simple bar diagram. What is meant by a simple bar diagram? It represents values of only one variable over a base. So as to understand it in detail, you may have to take page number 5, table number 1.5. Let us explain. Okay, please have a look at it. How it is drawn there. First of all, the diagram is drawn. Okay, OX and Y axis. The graph is drawn there. Table. Okay, the table. The first column we can see months. In the second column we can see sales in units. Okay, months: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Whereas in the second column where sale in units is mentioned, it is 35, 60, 65 units, 40 units, 50 units, 30 units. Now you see, students, okay, and once the stuff is over, we have to see what do we understand. In the month of January and February, only 35 units were sold, whereas in the next 2 months, March and April, it has reached to 60 units, and in the next 2 months, May and June, again it has increased to 65 units. What about the remaining months? If we consider up to December, it has declined, and it reached to even 30 units. Once you see, students, once you look at the graph, it is very clear that from the first look itself, when we have a simple law, once it is drawn very beautifully, neatly, very easily, it is understandable, and the process or how the rise or decline was there. And next, students, clustered bar diagram. What is meant by clustered bar diagram? Here, values of a common variable and over a common base are given for more than one section of related parameters. It is, first kind of clustered bar diagram is slightly different. So, okay, to understand this clustered bar diagram, again I ask you people to see page number 5, table number 1 and 6, and followed by the graph in the next page. See, students, see, it is given, okay, as I have been mentioning so far, the first, this table number 1, 6, we can see 4 columns, see the month. By monthly sale of chocolate boxes of different sizes in a shop. See, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Sale in units: small size, medium size, and large size. That is what is mentioned over there. Okay, please turn the page and see, students, what is here. And even for the month of January and February, how it is there? 3 clustered bar diagram. bar graphs are there because they have to show us the small size, the medium size as well as the large size, and it is applicable with the next months also. See, and in the March, April, May, June, again 3, what is the small size, medium size and small size, like that way it goes. And when we analyze it, no, we can see that what is said separately, we have to go for analysis. And here we can see, so please see that in the month of November, December, the small size and it okay, the 60 units were sold. Okay, whereas in the month of May and June, it was only 50. And when we go for the comparison, what do we see that? Okay, we can see in the month of July and August, what is the year? As far as large size was concerned, only 10 units were sold. And now we will see as next divided bar diagram. Here every single value of the variable has subcategories. Let's understand this divided bar diagram with the help of a table as well as the diagram. See students, table number 1.7, it's on page number 12 and the diagram is on page number 7. See students, the same way, and the same way January and February itself. What is there students? Rural, urban and all India sale of chocolates. Okay, that is written. And how it is in the year? In the month of January, February itself, okay, the sale of number of chocolates in rural, urban and all India level. Okay, and in the same way, what is say here? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. And you see students, and when you have a look at it nowadays there, you can very easily understand how the sale took place over the years, over the months from January till December. And before we conclude the first part, I would like to welcome you to see the important aspects related to diagram. That means aspects to be considered while drawing a bar diagram, that is very, very important. First of all the bars should be of equal width. The length of the bar should be proportional to value of all the variables. The distance between all bars should be equal. All bars rest on the same line called the bar baseline. All the vertical bars should be arranged from left to right. These are the points related to aspects to be considered while drawing a bar diagram. Before I conclude the part 1, I would like to give you one more assignment, that is, please note down in your notebook importance of diagrams and graphs in economics. That is expected to be asked in the form of 2 marks question, and the second question is answer in detail what are the aspects to be considered while drawing a graph or a diagram. Thank you students.